Hi there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, bringing to you another one of our Zoom chats, which are benefits for members of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce. And I am so excited to have with us today Rob Price, who is the president and principal architect of ASA Architects. Rob, it is so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Happy to see you. Hello to everyone.
Yay. And so now, in doing research, ASA Architects has been around for quite some time, like since the late 1960s. Can you tell us about the origins of ASA Architects? Because y'all have been around for a long time.
Yeah, ASA Architects was started by Rem Alley, actually in Roswell, New Mexico in 1968. So we've been around almost 60 years. Somewhere in the 80s, they started an office here in Las Cruces. So our office here has been here for almost, not quite 50 years, but almost. At that point, Ted Shelton and Tomas Mendez were partners with Rem Alley as ASA Architects, which stood for Alley, Shelton, and Associates.
Okay.
And then about, 85, 90, Rem Alley left the firm and Ted Shelton was the primary president. And here recently, Renato Meyer, who's our president of our El Paso office, and myself bought out the firm, and we're now co-presidents operating 3 offices, one in Roswell, still in Roswell after all these years, one here in Las Cruces and one in El Paso, serving all of southern New Mexico, eastern New Mexico, and the western part of Texas.
Wow, that's some longevity there. Y'all have been a little busy then, I take it, since you've been in business for so long.
Over $1 billion worth of construction easily.
Yeah. Well, you're a member of the U.S. Green Building Council, the Congress for New Urbanism, and of course the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce. And so sustainability is really part of the fabric of what you do as an architecture firm. When did you start bringing that in and really making that part of kind of your value?
It's sort of a weird thing. Green and sustainability have become trends in the public here in the last several years, but sustainability's always been a part of architectural design. We're always striving to do things with energy efficiency, whether it be with insulation, the current most up-to-date mechanical units, most current up-to-date lighting.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, sustainability has always been a part of architecture. It's always been a part of the building codes. And as much as it's a public focus, it seems like every 5 years it becomes more and more of a public focus with the rising energy cost and the push to be green and sustainable throughout our daily lives. It's actually always been a part of architecture and especially here in our firm.
Well, I appreciate that. We have an very old house, and so insulation is not the best. And so, as part of those sustainability efforts, we've had our house wrapped in 3 inches of foam, of styrofoam. And then also we have recycled jean material blown up into our attic space. About 18 inches is what I was told. So we're pretty nice and warm and cozy right now as we're recording this.
So we've come a long way. I remember back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s when they were building houses, they insulated with rolled up newspapers.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since then with the growing trends in insulation, and I don't know, there are hundreds of different types of insulation products out there.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite that when you're designing a project, do you have a favorite kind of a sustainability thing that's always something that you really like to work on?
Insulation is a primary consideration. The mechanical units, our mechanical engineers do a really good job of making sure we're up to speed with those. But here in our office as architects, insulation, whether it be with windows, with insulation products in the wall, whether it be with the roof, whatever ways we can find to insulate the building and create as much energy efficiency as we can, we feel like always goes a long way. And insulation is not that expensive of a product. So
Yeah.
you can fill it up with insulation, not impact building costs that much, and it goes a long way.
Well, and I'm sure you've seen this is like, especially since, when you talk about rolled up newspapers, we have come a long way in materials like the recycled jean material that I have in my attic space. And it trickles down. It's not just about, doing things that are good for the environment, but we create an energy envelope in our house so that the cool air, the warm air doesn't escape and the windows. And I mean, it's really not like one thing will solve those energy issues. It's like you have to really look at it as like a big package, right?
Yes, it doesn't do much good to have energy efficient mechanical units if you don't have much insulation in the building. It doesn't do much to have great wall insulation if all the heat or cool air is flowing out the roof. You've got to have roof insulation as well. Doesn't do good to have energy efficient hot water heaters if you're not insulating the plumbing lines and all the heat's escaping from those. So, yes, the building works together as a unit from top to bottom, side to side. There's even a thing called perimeter insulation we use at the foundation level to keep cool air from getting into the concrete slab and knocking the heat down there. So there are a variety of ways that the building acts as a collective unit.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the weather stripping on your door, which is something that I'm working on replacing right now because it's time.
Insulated glazing. And insulated glazing doesn't do all that it can do if you're letting sun just penetrate without blinds or roller shades or those types of things. So in this day and age, there are quite a number of components and equipment and units that all work together to create the envelope.
And then the savings are absolutely amazing. I mean, people think, oh, that's a lot of money to put up front, but oh my gosh, the trickle down for years to come is much more of a payoff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
El Paso Electric gives credits for energy efficient homes and commercial buildings. Anybody interested, you can contact them and they'll introduce you to their offset credit program.
Yeah, they have stuff on their website as well on ways to do that
Yes.
and get that. And so one of the projects that you're working on is the Sisbarro VW dealership, and that dealership has been around for quite some time. So tell us about how that project came about and what you all are getting to do on it.
Yes, we're working with Lou Sisbarro at Sisbarro Volkswagen here in Las Cruces. It's on Valley. Uh, as you said, it's been there for a number of years. Uh, Currently, well, here recently the building was. It's been since torn down, some of it. It was a showroom, offices, and the maintenance shops at the back of the building. The front portion of that building, which was the offices and the showroom, has been surgically removed, and all that's standing now is the maintenance building. If anybody's driving by, please don't watch this as you drive by. But if you've watched
Yeah.
this and you have driven by, you can see the work ongoing. They're still selling cars, used cars and new cars, and they're doing maintenance as well. So visit them. They're still open and doing business. We're excited because the project is part of Volkswagen's push for their new prototype.
Mm.
Uh, it's new showroom and new offices. It's a really neat looking project. If you do drive by, you can see a rendering of it on the project sign that's
Mm.
out front. It's about 8,000 square feet. It's going to have places for uh, showroom vehicles, which includes their new electric vehicles. Uh, there will be some electric chargers out front if you want to run by and get a charge of your current Volkswagen car. And it's an exciting project for us and especially for Sisbarro Volkswagen.
Yeah. Rob, when do you decide to completely, what makes the difference of completely demolish something or try and retrofit what's already existing? Because sometimes it's much more costly to demolish in this case, rather than try and use the existing structure and build off of that. What do you, as an architect, what do you have to weigh in to factor that?
So there are a number of factors that come into play. One is ongoing business and what it would do to the business if we just tore it all down. In this case, the maintenance shop is a big part of their business. The building is suitable enough to keep. That Volkswagen's really pushing them to do at least a new showroom.
Mm,
So the decision was made to keep the maintenance shop. It's in pretty decent shape as a building. It's a block building. The roof's in good shape. The walls are in good shape. There's nothing really wrong with the building. It's serving its purpose. So not a lot of reason to take it down. The showroom itself and the offices just weren't quite up to par with what you want a current here and now showroom to be. So whenever we're making those decisions, business considerations come into play.
yeah.
The age and the condition of the building, the cost of replacement, and usually all of those things are considered in some type of analysis, whether it be a brief quick analysis or an elaborate analysis. All of those things are taken into consideration to see what might be the best approach for the owner.
Mm. And so as we finish up, Rob, are you able to do any sustainable approaches to this in this new design?
Yes, it's got low E insulated glazing, which is you're going to see there's a lot of glazing on the building. That's part of Volkswagen's new prototype, but it is low E insulated glazing. Roof insulation, R30 roof insulation, which here in New Mexico really helps knock down the heat. We get a lot of direct overhead heat coming through the roof. We've got R19 wall insulation.
Ooh, yeah.
The perimeter of the slab has perimeter insulation at the foundation level.
Great.
Current high energy efficient mechanical units, energy efficient water heaters, insulation on all the plumbing lines.
There you go.
And it goes on and on. We probably don't have enough time for me to go through the whole list.
Probably not. When you're talking about, people hear about this, and this will be my last question, I promise, because I'm very fascinated by this and think it's absolutely amazing, the work that you're doing, especially the sustainability. When you talk about R factors, those can you explain what that is? Because a lot of people here, like they'll see like the pink insulation at the home store and say it's got an R factor of 25. And what does that mean?
That has to do with thermal resistance. Even though I'm an architect, I've been an architect for 40 years. I doubt I could give as good a definition for it as Google could, but it has to do with thermal resistance and the amount of heat or cool resistance that you're getting from the material. A quick, easy way to think about it is R30 is a thicker, more thermally resistant insulation than an R19 may be. The more the R value, the better. The opposite of R value is a thing called U value. People have probably heard of that. That's R over 1 is what that is. And it's also just a designation of thermal resistivity is what it all is.
Yeah, we hear that a lot more now, especially when the sustainability conversation started coming up, was the R value of insulation. Well, I'm excited. Do you have an ETA on when the Sisbarro renovations are gonna be complete?
Probably somewhere around this time next year, maybe slightly sooner, but at least around this time next year, they should definitely see a building up. The public will, and they'll still be selling cars and probably starting to think about moving into their new showroom at this point next year.
How exciting. And how exciting for you to have a project like this. Yes,
it's awesome.
That's great. I can't wait to see what the final product is, but I am going to sometime this weekend go and drive by it because I kind of want to see a before and after.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. There's nothing there. Just a hole. Well, Rob, thank you so much. I'm very excited, and I hope this isn't the first conversation. I think we'll have many more about your projects, and would love to do that. So grateful for your work and just for your long-term existence in this community in the region. Very grateful for you.
And thank you for having us today. It's good to see you again, and we look forward to doing it whenever you need us.
You got it. All right. Well, you have a great holiday because when we're recording this, it's right before the holidays. So have a great holiday and look forward to your progress.
Thank you.
All righty.